can't see you, though.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
All right.
It says we're live now. All right. Awesome. And it looks like you're still on stage, too. If you want to stay up here, you can. Might as well get some publicity. You don't have to talk. Nice. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another fantastic episode of The Shift. I'm your host, leader of the Shift Army, General Moses. Joined today, we were supposed to be joined by my buddy, Chris Drzyzga, who may join us throughout the stream. Chris is, if he does join, he'll be joining from Southern California. And him and I hit it off recently talking about crypto and blockchain. And he's kind of coming from a position of, what the heck is an NFT? And I said, dude, I felt the same way in March. And then I got introduced to the Shift Army and Cryptowriter, and everything changed. So what are we going to do instead today? Well, if you guys notice, my camera is not on for a couple of reasons. The main reason being I'm in Ohio right now for to be with family for the holidays, and I'm in the car with my dad on the way to the airport to pick up my younger brother who's flying in from Charleston, South Carolina right now. So instead of postponing the show, cancel it, whatever, so you know what, we're going to find a way to make this work, to make it happen. So, and by the way, if you guys are making noise in the comments, I'll do my best to check them, but it's going to be a little bit different today since we are on mobile, as you can see. But anyways, yeah, so that's the feedback, that's the storyline of where we're at. And by the way, Boone is running the show behind the scenes too, periodically throughout today's stream. He will be dropping some giveaway links in the comments, so make sure you pay close attention there. That's enough out of me. Guys, you got to meet the father of General Moses. I don't know who that would necessarily be. We might have to make up a new stage name for him. But for now, we'll say Mike. If you want to drop your last name in there, that's cool.
No. Big Daddy 24. That's me.
There we go. We got Big Daddy 24 on the stream today. And before I got to go pamp out the link and the URL. Guys, by the way, could you smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, copy the URL, tweet it out, share it in your Discord groups, etc. But anyways, on that note, Big Daddy, you said Big Daddy 24?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we got Big Daddy 24 with us here. And Big Daddy 24, if I know this is a stretch, but if you could you tell us your life story in 3 minutes?
I probably could tell you my life story in 3 minutes. I've done this before. I'm a skinny little kid from Cleveland, Ohio. Grew up in the inner city. Was able to bounce a basketball in the high school level and playing on the collegiate level as well, which I would always view as my ticket. Basketball, athletics was my ticket, not the complete ticket. I had to do my homework and study, but it was my ticket to get out of poverty. And I've been a fortunate guy. I'm the father of many, with 4 boys and 2 girls. We try to live our life like it's a never-ending party. I remember I taught my sons, when life gets bad, make sure you figure out a way to dance. But also, we trust a lot in our Lord and Savior. We're Christian folks, and God's been good to us since the beginning. Although your beginnings may not be what you picture them to be, if you trust and pursue, work hard, and remember that where your bread is buttered, man. As time goes on, things generally work out very, very well. I would say the biggest thing people need to understand and know, I try my best to do my best to be a blessing to them and be a blessing to others. But remember this: stay humble, stay focused, and stay honest. And you should, be able to make it to the dear old age of 60, which I'm approaching here. And God's been super good. We have a lot of great things in our life, not just things materially, but other things as well. So last thing I'll leave you with, one of my favorite verses is Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you, whatever you need. How's that?
There we go. Well, all these things, including NFTs, guys, we gotta make Big Daddy 24 and a wax wallet. So I'll make sure I'll get on that and drop that link in the Shift Discord and the Shift Telegram and all over. And actually, if you want, we can do it in advance just because we might have some people tuned in here live with us. If you want to send any welcome NFTs to the wax community to Big Daddy 24, send them to our wallet for the Shift. It's zyseo, as you guys know, zyseo.wam. and we'll make sure we get them over to him. And then, as I mentioned, after the stream, I'll follow up with my dad to make sure we get his wax wallet out there to everyone.
Nice.
But with that being said, I'm sure even as I say the address and the wax wallet, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about.
That's okay. I'm never too old to learn.
What kind of questions based on that do you have about NFTs or wax?
Well, wax, I'm assuming since it's replacing .com and .org, is someplace, a location for storage, just like a wallet would be a place for storage. It's where you keep your money. How'd I do?
Not too bad. I never thought of it as like a .com or a .org thing, but you could kind of look at it that way in many regards. So wax is, well, in the world of blockchain, in the world of crypto. And actually, hold on, guys. Let me check the comments here real quick. I want to make sure. Okay, it looks like we are coming through clear. Just want to double check comments. All right, Morton, what's up? DKR, yo, Burst, what's up? Yeah, it might sound like I'm talking to myself here on the stream today. Oh, the voice is echoing. Okay. Well, guys, let me know if it continues to echo. And let me get back to what I was saying, which was wax. What is wax?
Yes.
And keep making noise in the comments too. Actually, now I got it pulled up here. So guys, just let me know if the echo is too strong. So in the world of cryptocurrency, the world of blockchain, there's thousands of different assets, tokens, coins, whatever you want to call them, blockchains. The one that we all happen to be hanging out here on and building this fantastic community, honestly. AMJ, I think I said what's up. AMJ, what's up? Good to see you again. Is within the wax community, the wax blockchain. So in NFTs in particular, and I kind of gave my dad a very brief crash course on what is an NFT before we went live. Wax probably makes up about, if I had to guess, 5% of the entire NFT realm. Most of it is dominated by a token that you might have heard before called Ethereum. Have you heard of Ethereum by chance?
I have not.
Okay, so you've heard of Bitcoin.
Yes, I have.
If Bitcoin is gold, now I know, guys, some people might argue this, but just in layman's terms, if Bitcoin is gold, Ethereum is kind of like silver.
Got it.
Now, unlike gold and silver, Ethereum can basically just continuously be created. There's no limit to it, but it's number 2 to Bitcoin. So there's certain things that the Ethereum blockchain can do, which is, and I'm just checking here. Okay, so no one said anything about echoing yet. Okay, that's cool. Carswell tradition, eating. We're actually getting ready to go to the Amish territory right now. It's funny you say that, Morton. And we'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, so Ethereum is the crypto, the token, the platform allows for people to build stuff on it, just different apps, whatever. And one of the biggest things that has been built on the Ethereum blockchain now is just a ton of art, a ton of NFTs, non-fungible tokens, to the point where, Ethereum's blockchain probably makes up about 90%, we'll say, of the interest in NFTs that exist. Now, I was indirectly introduced to Wax through a close friend and someone who does some podcasting actually on this channel. And I found very quickly this is just a very fun, exciting place to be in and build community. And that even though it only makes up, and this is just a rough estimate, 5% of the NFT space, there's still millions and millions of transactions happening on the Wax blockchain every day. There's still thousands of people using it, building their own apps, their own tokens, their own NFTs, like we do here on the Shift. And so, you don't need 1 billion people to build a tribe and have fun. All you need is 1,000 people that you really like that are doing things in the same space. So that's kind of, maybe I kind of dovetailed a little bit there, but that's what I found in Wax. Again, everyone in here hanging out with us in the comments, making noise, just a really fun, exciting place to be. To put it into perspective, I started it here in March of this year. Burst, who I saw is in the comments, I'm not sure if you're still there, Burst, he got into Wax when it was like 2 cents a token, early 2020, has stayed true and focused to the space. He brought a ton of he's from Alberta, Canada, brought a bunch of his friends into the space too. Now they've got this big community, and like Wax is now, I don't know, guys, make some noise in the comments. What is Wax trading at? I think it's like $1 and something. So imagine being invested in something when it was 2 cents and now it's $1, whatever. We'll just say that they're having a good time, and we plan on doing that here with our community and everyone hang out with. So
time for us to buy some wax.
I was gonna say I'll shut up and see what kind of questions you got for me, and then maybe we can talk about the Amish season as well. But what questions do you have on that?
Well, again, so explaining a wax that you didn't define the wax wallet, so I need to know what that is.
Okay.
You said wax. So wax is a community and a place for trading. I get it. But what about the wax wallet? My own personal investment? Is that what a wax wallet is?
Yeah. So the wax wallet would be, it's first of all, it's free to make. All you need is an email to kind of register yourself, and it is your we'd say your storage unit, your warehouse. Especially, I'd say, from what I'm seeing personally in the world of NFTs now, a lot of your street cred comes from what do you got on the walls in your house, in your digital wallet. I know it sounds very,
but is that viewable by others?
It's completely public.
Okay.
Which is a little bit of the beauty of it, because people, if you're doing something weird or sketchy, because everything is transparent and fully public, if someone's doing something wrong, they will get found out eventually.
Okay.
And that's like one of the best things I think about our community is if we ever do come across any shady characters, the Shift Army knows how to cross-check some of these wallets to see, as Burst would say, are they a boo-boo or what? So that's the beauty of not only Wax, but any NFT wallet is it's publicly viewable.
So again, why do I want to be a part of this community? Is because it's going to benefit me financially, or it's just another way, another social outlet, information outlet? What's again? Why do I want to be part of this community?
I think pretty much what you just outlined, which is it's an opportunity to build and create new relationships while building wealth for yourself and while having some fun along the way too. We don't have to go too far down this rabbit hole, but there's a lot of games that are also built on the Wax blockchain that incentivize people when you play it, you actually earn NFTs. So it's very new. It's a very new concept to the world. So a lot of people will be like, "Oh, it's a fad, whatever." And you have to acknowledge that and say this could all go away tomorrow. Chances of it, in my opinion, very slim. But if you start,
Does anyone make? I hear the values of Bitcoin. I hear the values of Ethereum. I hear the different values. Okay, and I'm just curious if those values are ever cashed out.
Great question. What do you guys think? Let's make some noise in the comments. Anyone know anyone who's cashed out some of their crypto? The short answer I would say is yes. I was just talking to someone the other day who, I guess you could say, kind of became a crypto or a Bitcoin millionaire overnight.
Okay.
And they've got a lot of Ethereum, millions and millions of dollars of Ethereum, and they have no desire to put. I mean, I can't blame them. They have no desire to put it into a bank account, because as soon as you put that in a bank account, somebody's really watching you. I mean, they have ways to track you and watch you, I guess you could say, on the internet. But so what he does, this is a friend of a friend too,
right?
Is whenever he wants to cash out, he'll just cash out 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever grand, go do what you got to do, and just live it that way.
The cash out process involves me going to someone that wants this and they're buying it from me, right?
Well, you can connect your wallet basically to a bank.
Okay.
Banks are now allowing this. Probably one of the most popular is Coinbase.com. Crypto.com is another big one. They just bought the Staples Center. I don't know if you saw that. Crypto.com is it's now the Crypto.com Center.
I didn't know that.
And there's probably at least a dozen other exchanges that are that big that will allow you to connect your whatever bank account you have, so that way you can transfer your crypto to fiat currency.
So just to keep my brain in the right place, I want to buy a house, or I want to buy, I want to buy a donut. Let's go from the extremes. and I want to access and have, again, I grew up in a cash generation. I want to access and have green money in my hand, and or a credit card or something in my hand. Am I able to use Bitcoin for that type of a transaction?
So great question. The answer is yes, in multiple ways. One way that's also become quite popular, especially if you're a crypto nerd, is to have some type of debit card or credit card that is tied directly to your wallet. Okay. So that way, when you go and swipe, it's like it's happening, boom, like right there on the spot. Now,
Okay.
many OGs in the space, people have been around for a while.
Yes.
And maybe, I don't know, maybe we have someone who would argue me on this, but I think you guys would agree. You would not want to be transacting in Bitcoin unless you're the one receiving the Bitcoin, because really, think of Bitcoin like gold. If you gave someone $100 of gold in something
Gold
today,
bar, sure.
10 years from now, that $100 that you gave them might be worth, 1,000. And then all of a sudden you're like, dang, I could have $1,000 right now if I didn't spend 100 in gold, because the Bitcoin price continues to go up. So there's this famous story about the Bitcoin pizza in the very early Bitcoin days. So Bitcoin, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Bitcoin came around in 2010 or around that area. And there was someone maybe 2013 or 2014 who ordered a Domino's pizza online for like 10,000 Bitcoin. And the price of Bitcoin's around 50 grand right now. So I don't know what 10,000 times 50 grand is, but there's the legendary story of if that person just would have held them and not bought the Domino's, look how much money they would have now. And
or that's one tasty pizza.
That's one tasty pizza. It's another reason why,
Wow.
Elon Musk and many other companies now have allowed to say, okay, we accept Bitcoin because it's like collecting gold.
But is there a rate? Let's say obviously there's a rate. So let's say for instance you want to buy a $5,000 item. Again, that item could be in 5 years $25,000 of cryptocurrency, correct? So you don't want to do that. But let's say for instance I want to take the $5,000 and transfer it or change it to a common currency where I'm living, UK, India, Peru, who cares? I'm able to do that, correct? But then eventually, again, it's investment. It's like investment money, so it's definitely going to be growing, unlike currency, which tends to stay the same, right?
Yeah. And then there's also, as I mentioned, hundreds. And I see we got some action in the comments here too. I'm excited to take a look in a moment. But there's hundreds of thousands of other currencies that. So Bitcoin has a limited amount that can ever be created. It's put into the code. The way that it was coded from the beginning says, okay, guys, what is it, 21 million or something? There's a certain amount of Bitcoin that can be mined, period. So that's kind of where that intrinsic value comes from. Ethereum or some of these other cryptos, which actually a lot of people don't like Ethereum because it also has its own called gas fees when you transact. Don't need to go into that right now. But there are some cryptos out there that are much more doable for treating like actual currency.
Well, let me throw this at you. Let's say, for instance, a friend of yours who has a significant amount of cryptocurrency, I don't even have a number for you. You can create the number.
Okay.
And they get hit by a bus. And then they basically pass all on to you. And you're not a cryptocurrency person. So you basically want to take that chunk of internet money and make it and put it into United States coinage. Does that kind of thing happen? And is that the only time that you really want to cash in the investment of Bitcoin?
Yeah,
like a life insurance policy kind of thing.
I think that that's something that would definitely depend on the person. If the person who passed away had, we'll say, 100 grand in Bitcoin, and they kind of knew what they were doing in the crypto realm, and they are passing it on to, I don't know, someone who just doesn't know anything.
Right, their kid, or their grandma, or their mom.
I think anyone in the crypto space would view that say the kid wants to just go cash it out for 100 grand. You can do that. You can absolutely do that. And there's plenty of attorneys and tax attorneys and legal people you can reach out and figure out, how do I do this the right way?
But just like the Domino's pizza.
But pretty much, I'm guaranteeing anyone who's listening right now would be like, that would be the dumbest thing you could ever, not saying you, say whoever that kid is, would be the dumbest thing you could do, because you're basically cashing out your 100 grand in Bitcoin, and 10 years from now, guarantee you're going to be like, wow, I would have 10 million now if I didn't do that. So, but you can absolutely do that.
Well, it sounds like you can't liquidate it very often or very much because of the fear of, it's investment money.
Absolutely.
It's not what you want to try to live off of.
Yeah, I think there are some people who are newer to the space. That's what it comes down to, is if you're less experienced, you might accidentally get caught up treating it as if it was US dollars. It is, after all, it is called cryptocurrency, so you can't blame someone doing that, but it's kind of misleading because with most cryptos, you 1000%, as you said, want to treat it like an asset, allow it to accumulate, reinvest it. You can take out from it when you need to. I know we got people. I'm gonna check the comments here now, guys, but I know you guys are probably doing the same thing here. So one moment, and are we coming through clear, guys? Can you make some noise? I know Boone said we might have came through a little choppy. Let me know in the comments if we're coming through clear. But yeah, so Burst said he doesn't cash out anything; he invests.
Right.
Ask Hollywood. Coinbase Pro is what DKR uses. Nice.
Tell them that we're traveling through the city of LeBron James, right?
Oh, guys, yeah, we're driving through Akron, Ohio right now, where LeBron is from. I'm sure LeBron has some crypto. Mortgages will be in NFT form soon. That's interesting because I know there's definitely been a lot in the mortgage sector just with crypto. So that's cool to know, Burst. Yeah. All right, awesome. 21 million was right about the Bitcoin. But again, guys, whoever's listening right now, if you could again just let us know in the comments if you can hear us. I just want to make sure it's not too choppy as we go through LeBron. So we can definitely keep talking about crypto. I'm actually having a lot of fun educating you as best as I can, but I feel like we got to talk about where we're heading right now too, because that's something that you can talk about.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't have to talk about crypto. So in the wonderful state of Ohio, just like in several parts of Pennsylvania, there is some Amish territory. And honestly, I'm not so sure how Amish this place that we're heading to is, but I will tell you this: it's right off of I-71, which is for those of you who don't travel the states very much or do travel the states, you know that there's interstate highway throughout our nation. I-71 goes from Cleveland, Ohio, south, pretty much into the Lexington, Kentucky area. But 71, on 71, there's this place called Grandpa's Cheese Barn. That's right, Grandpa. I don't know Grandpa, but I'm sure he's a cool dude because the facility there, the place there has probably over 200 types of cheeses to taste, purchase, and just enjoy. And they also have a lot of snacking foods. And you got to think about it. This is definitely the snacking and grazing time of the year. So having cheese and crackers and popcorns and peanuts and stuff around is really kind of fun. So the place is worth a visit. Grandpa's Cheese Barn. It's on I-71 and 250, which is the exit for Ashland, Ohio. Right next door to Grandpa's Cheese Barn is a facility called Sweeties. And Sweeties has all kinds of candies and chocolates. So we are just going to have a great family trip going to a place to indulge and buy some stuff that we're going to eat over the next couple of days as we spend time together as a family. Grandpa's Cheese Barn, the bomb. Oh, one more other thing right near there. And again, I'm not the hunting type. I should be doing commercials for these folks. But there's also a place called Fur and Feathers. So if you're a hunter or if you're into outdoors or outdoorsy things, there's another shop there where you can pop in there and I don't know, buy your fishing lure or whatever, that kind of stuff that people do. I don't do that. So I hope that you guys would enjoy that kind of thing. Not for me, but it's a great place to visit. My daughter-in-law is from Virginia originally, and she visited the barn last year. And right off the plane, she goes, "Grandpa's Cheese Barn, please." So we're headed that way.
Yep.
Looking forward to it.
And we'll do this here real quick too. And
we have another iconic stop, Adam.
What's the next one?
The other iconic stop will be at the Cleveland's West Side Market.
Oh, that's right.
We're going to hit the West Side Market. I buy butter there for my mother-in-law. So I get butter from my mother. And it's a really kind of a unique market. I think they have like 60 stands with all kinds of fresh meats and foods. And it's really a great experience. And then on the way from there, we're going to probably the best donut place in the world. So it's definitely a 3-stop. The donut place is called Biagio's, by the way, in Eastlake, Ohio. So it is definitely a food day for the Carswell family.
Okay. So I have a challenge for anyone who wants to go for it here. Tune in. It looks like you guys heading to a sheep with a hole in the dark. If you can hear me, because again, we're just going with the punches here. The first person to enter in the addresses of every place we just named will get an NFT from Boone. So again, that's Grandpa's Cheese Barn.
Yep.
That's
the
West Side Market and Biagio's, which you probably have to dig around to figure out how to spell it. It's
Biagio.
Biagio. So whoever can punch in the address of Grandpa's Cheese Barn, the West Side Market, and Biagio's in the comments first, we'll make sure we get you an NFT. I know Boone has been dropping a few here. We'll send you one directly. One more time, Grandpa's Cheese Barn, the West Side Market, and Biagio's. First one gets a freebie here today. So back to
Cryptocurrency.
Crypto. We could turn cheese barns. They got to turn the cheese into NFTs. One thing I was thinking about that you might be able to wrap your head around. So
okay,
my dad played, as he mentioned, he played college basketball, and that's where I went on to do the same thing one day. But he started the trend, and there's one game film that he has on VHS somewhere that he's watched many times. What you could potentially do with that film, Papa, is if we can get it into
it's on YouTube.
Oh, is it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Well, even better. So I'll have to get that YouTube link from you.
Okay.
And then we can basically take it and convert it into an NFT, so it can be kind of marked, one, as the original, and two, for resale, if you would like to.
Wow.
So,
well, actually, it is. I played with a guy who was an All-American. He's a year ahead of me, and it was his last home game. And we happened to have that on video, his last game. I think I had 17. I had a dunk that game, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were my days when I could run like a deer, and I was skinny as a walking stick. So that was fun. Those were fun days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's on YouTube. I have a Mike Carswell channel. Oops, I just gave my name. I have a channel. So yeah, and I've got 2 videos on there. One of that game, and then one of your mom giving a little speech about something. So
nice.
So I can get that to you.
Yeah, we'll have to make some NFTs for Big Daddy 24.
There you go.
And I think that maybe even with I just realized with Life Cap, we might even be able to do something cool with that.
Sure. That's one of my side hustles.
Yeah. Actually, so let's talk about. So Life Cap is my dad just said, is one of his side hustles. What is Life Cap?
So every one of us is unique, and we've had
every one of us is an NFT.
Everyone's an NFT. Okay, I'll get that. But what my focus has been with Life Cap is that. So what is it? 2021. And I was born in 1962. So that's quite a few years ago. But the deal is that so many people that have great stories of how America became who it was, and how the Carswell family became who they are, or the Johnson family, or the Smith family, who you are. Those stories, unfortunately, as people pass on, generally don't get told. So I started a business in 2004, and my goal is to capture personal histories. So I sit down with folks in a very comfortable environment, and we talk about what their life's about, what it's been about, and where they've been, and who they are, who influenced them, and all those types of things. And then we basically document that. We add music, graphics, and pictures to create a living document. And I've had numerous of my friends that have done this for their family, for their mom, or for their grandparents. And when that grandparent has passed on, they're so blessed to have the information saved, preserved in video of their parents talking, or grandparents talking about their life, where they came from, their mannerisms, their voice inflections. I mean, I know you guys are listening to me chat a little bit now, and I'm sure that you can hear a little bit of Adam in me. And, it's kind of funny what we pick up from our parents, or even our grandparents. And even more amazingly, sometimes so many people don't know their family history. So what I've been able to do is talk to folks generally in their 80s and 90s and preserve their personal history. I do have one scheduled in a week or so with a 91-year-old woman. And the oldest person, Adam and I did together, he was 98 years old. And that was like 4 years ago. Yeah. So he's still kicking. And
he's still alive?
Oh, yeah. And he was so cognizant at 98 that he could really easily tell his life story. So every one of us has a story to tell. And what we like to do is preserve that story for future generations, not only your family, but they're quite entertaining clips to watch for just about anyone.
Yeah.
It's called Life Cap.
Yeah.
If you want to know any more, contact Adam, and then I'll get information to you.
Yeah. Seriously, if anyone wants to know more, let me know. I've seen it firsthand now as well. A lot of the families that my dad has done work for, not to sound down, but like as soon as the person he interviewed passes away, the entire family will flock to that interview, and it really is priceless. So if you want to know more, hit us up on. Well, we got the Discord and Telegram and Twitter, all that in the description. So if you're not already following us or connected, go ahead and do it there. And then let me see if DKR did the best job there. He put what is it? Well, are we going to Massillon Road? Is that where
We just passed Massillon. We're going to the Akron-Canton Airport.
Okay. Well, DKR, you get it for the best effort trying here. Best of Grandpa's Cheese Barn. It is on Massillon Road.
Oh, that's I'm sorry, that's a satellite. But we're not going there.
Which one are we going to?
We're going to the one that's the main one, which is, I'm sorry, good job, buddy.
Good job, DKR.
There are two of them, and I've never been to the one he's mentioning because I'm going to the Big Daddy. I'm going to the original one, which is on I-71.
It's in Ashland, Ohio, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So you can look up the one in Ashland, Ohio. Is the one that we're going to.
Good call. That's a little thing I missed there. Good job.
Sean, South Beach, what's poppin'? Burst, why even glorify? Is someone glorifying politicians? I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah. So my buddy Sean, I believe Sean's here. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Miami Vice. But Sean is the founder and creator of the YouTube channel that we're streaming live on right now.
did I meet him in Austin?
You did not.
Okay.
You did not. So he lives in South Beach. I'm sorry, Sean, I don't know if you actually live in South Beach, but he lives in Miami.
Yeah.
And him and Kenny is the other guy. Kenny's based out of Australia. They are the co-founders of Cryptowriter, which is Cryptowriter, so many things, guys, right? But I guess it started as a publication thing for cryptocurrency and snowballed, and they've made a very strong emphasis on building community. So back in March, me and about 6 other talking heads had phone calls with them to go and be the media, the podcasting branch of this company. Some people are still with us, some have fallen off, some will come back, whatever. Guys, I think Shift Army, we're probably edge of obscurity. Sean and Jimmy definitely got a good thing going on there, but I'd say those are probably our top 2 shows now. And anyways, it's been really cool. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I'd like to introduce you to the boss. If he's still here, Sean has definitely made an impact in my life and probably the car as well as moving forward. So any special messages to him? He's about mid-30s, 2 kids, 2 dogs. From actually, he played college volleyball and played. So
Nice. Hey, Sean, thank you for influencing my son and his family and his life. And I wish you well. And I don't know. I'm kind of not usually lost for words, but I'm losing some words here. So, Sean, I'm getting up from the airport. I'm a little focused on the road. But awesome. Thank you for all you do and keep focused, man.
Yeah, love it. And Sean, we'll be Nikki and I will be in Florida early January, and we're only going to be like probably an hour and a half from Miami, so we'll probably pop down there. See you soon. I think I told you that too. DKR still dropping just dropped the Ashland address in there.
Nice.
Good job, man.
Look him up.
He's based out of Jersey. So yeah, Boone, make sure you get a DKR a present for his diligence here today. Here we go. So we're pulling up to we'll be there soon, the Akron-Canton Airport, which is one of 2 main airports in the Cleveland area.
We have 2, but we also have a 3rd private airport.
There's the 3rd. Yeah, that's right.
Right
On the lake, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but yeah, my brother, we're picking him up from the airport right now, and we still got 15 minutes to hang out here. So, let's do a basketball story. I think everyone here likes hoops and kind of hearing about, what was it like playing before the 3-point line was a thing?
Oh, okay. So everyone has to understand that I have a little bit of an issue with the 3-point shot, simply because it didn't come in existence until after I was done. But one of the things I want to say is that I'm watching a game between University of Pittsburgh and the University of Virginia. And I'm watching these guys play ball, and I'm really impressed by a 6'6", 220-pound athletic guy for the University of Virginia. Those of you who understand what baseline is, I'll explain it. To go baseline is really one of the most preventable things in a basketball game. Teams don't want you to go baseline because you can break down their defense. But this young man goes baseline and just goes up and throws a dunk down with two hands. It's so beautiful. It's a work of art. And being a person that's a bigger player, I know what it was like to dunk. I know the athletic activity involved to dunk. I know the risk involved with the dunk. And that's why I think a dunk is one of the most beautiful things in basketball. But the other team they played against, University of Pittsburgh, immediately took the ball out, 2 passes, and the next thing you know, the kid hits a three-pointer. So in my mind, I'm like, which one of those 2 shots was worth the most? The physical one of the athletics with the dunk, or the let's throw up a shot from 20 feet outside and get more points for it? That's my pet peeve. So
I think you've said that to me before. I think that's one of the greatest things ever, which is a dunk should be worth 3 points. I don't care if not everyone on the court can do it.
Correct.
The momentum that it brings to the game,
and the physicality involved in doing it is what I'm really focusing on. It is not an easy thing. If it was easy, everybody could do it, and not everybody can do it. Not everybody's tall enough. Give me a break. There's some guys 5'7" that are dunking. So I'm just basically saying the physicality involved in a dunk is downplayed by guys like Steph Curry. I respect the heck out of him, but guys that basically can chuck it up from out far, it's really almost unfair because all the physicality involved. There's less physicalness to a 3-point shot from outside than there is a dunk, and a dunk is a beautiful thing to watch. And I know it's a lot of physical activity. That's just my vote. I'm sure I'm never going to get any recognition or concern for it, but I just think it's great. I think it's something to be considered. A dunk requires more of you than a 3-pointer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's been a lot with the game that has changed, and
right.
The 3-point line, I think, it definitely made the game a little bit more exciting, but yeah, it definitely, I'm with you 100% on that one.
All right. Anybody else out there agree with me? You should kind of give them some crypto if they agree with me.
If anyone agrees that a dunk should be worth 3 points, drop your wax address in there. I see DK already dropped his.
Because that's near and dear to my heart. Because
Yeah. So you've also, speaking of life stories, you mentioned earlier, you're from the hood.
Yeah, I grew up in the inner city of Cleveland, Ohio. My father died when I was 4 months old, and I grew up in the inner city of Cleveland, Ohio.
And, well, I guess you make note, he passed away from like heart disease.
Yeah, it was nothing like a gang activity or anything like that. No, my dad was unfortunately out of state visiting family in Georgia when he had a heart attack at the age of 46, with no cardiovascular history. But that's a whole other story. However, not growing up with a father, and I know my boys talk about they can't even imagine that. But of course, one of the things in life you have to do is you got to play the cards you're dealt. If you're from a tough environment, or if you're from a suburban environment or a rural environment, whatever, you're there. And oftentimes you didn't even have anything to do with the placement of you being there. I believe God ordains us to be born who we are and where we are. We just need to make the most of it and try to figure out a way to maximize our potential. But like I mentioned earlier, I played basketball. I didn't really start basketball seriously until I was 13. Prior to that, I was really in love with the game of baseball. But even prior to that, I was really a decent student. In the classroom, I would be either the number 1 or number 2 student throughout elementary school. And it was funny. Some kids would say, "You only get good grades because your mom's here at the PTA." And my mom was president of PTA. But you know what? There may be a little bit of truth to that, because my mom was involved in my life as well as involved in my school life. Maybe that did cause me to be a better student. I will blame it on the genetic profile. God's given us, our family, some brains. So, but I will say, yeah, I was a decent student, and most of my teachers, I was respectful to them and appreciated who they were. I kind of stayed away from the trouble guys, and I had to fight a few times, but that's part of it. But again, growing up in inner city Cleveland was what it was. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to try to make the most out of it I could. The first 20 years of my life, I was there, and then after when I finished college at 22, I wasn't going home. I got an apartment and began my life as an individual and worked several jobs. But again, having a college education and also the athletic, I can't put enough value on being an athlete, on not quitting and digging through situations that aren't all that favorable and making the most of them. So there's many times when it was kind of dark and kind of scary, but you just battle through.
I think another thing that you've shared with me recently that I think is really just more important for more and more people to hear, whether you are white or black or whatever, is you grew up in a time where, like, you see or hear people maybe complaining about their skin tone now as if it's some type of disadvantage.
Right.
I mean, could you tell some of the stories of what you actually lived through from a fear-based perspective?
At 11, I was in Western Pennsylvania at there was this inner city camp, which was pretty progressive. I don't think it would ever happen now, but it was called Friendly Town, where basically they take a kid from an impoverished area and put him in what would be normal American environment. Okay, so not to play the color card too deeply, but I saw some of my friends go to Friendly Town. This station wagon would pull up with white families in them, and then they would take these kids would come back from spending a couple of weeks with this white family. And they have a basket full of toys and having a good time. I'm like, man, I want some of that action. So at 11, I got to go to Pennsylvania, and I was in a small city, Warren, Pennsylvania, for 2 weeks with the Downey family. Very wonderful people. Mr. Downey was a vice president of a plastics company. His wife was stay at home, and they have 4 kids. And the younger 2 kids, I was just a year older than those 2 guys, at the same age as their son, one of their other sons. So I'm in the gas station, like the day 2 at this city of, again, there's no black people for hundreds of miles. And we're at the gas station getting air in our bike tires. And this little kid rides his bike up, and he's never seen a black person before. So let me put a year on this, 73. Kid walks up or rides up on his bicycle, and he's staring at me, and he's riding his bike in circles. He goes, "Hey, you don't have a spot of white on you." So I thank God for my mom. She taught me to love myself and who I am from the beginning of life. I looked right at this kid and said, and guess what? I don't want any either. So here I am, hundreds of miles from my home, in an environment which some would call pretty hostile or scary. And this kid saying, "You don't have a spot of white on you." I'm like, and I don't want any. I was very comfortable in my own skin. And I think all of us need to try to be comfortable in our own skin. Yeah, you look at others, and one of the problems that people have in this world in survival is comparison. Comparison is a joy robber. You can note that one. Comparison is a joy robber. When you start comparing your life to other folks, you have no idea how they got where they got. You don't know what God has planned for you. And actually, there may be some really great things he has planned for you, but because you're sulking or disillusioned by what somebody else has, you can miss the mark. You really need to focus on who you are and do the best you can, not only physically or mentally and emotionally, but even spiritually. Don't get caught up in comparing yourself to others. There's a scripture in the Old Testament that says, "Don't covet." What's that mean? I don't want Elon Musk's house. I don't want his money. I don't want his things. I want things, but they don't have to be his. Don't covet his things. So yeah, comparison's a joy robber. I'm throwing a lot of knowledge at you guys. Sorry. Comparison is a joy robber. Be comfortable in your own skin and just make the best of what you can with who you are and what you got. So that started young for me. 11 years old. I said, I told a guy in Pennsylvania, "Dude, I'm happy with who I am. How about you?"
Yeah. Well, I guess, and what I was trying to get to is, like, I know you've actually had some stories where maybe someone has threatened you or like come after you when you were in the hood.
Absolutely.
And people nowadays are soft compared to what you've actually gone through. So I just wanted to highlight
I don't think they're soft as much as I just think that they're folks are. We have so many more media outlets than I ever had as a kid to basically heighten the hype. of anything that goes down. Now, I was a 12-year-old kid, well, out of my neighborhood, and I got chased by a pickup truck with full of guys that wanted to do some damage to me, and they didn't catch me. And then, I've been threatened here and there. But I recently spoke at one of the local colleges here in Northeast Ohio, specifically to a room full of young black men that were in community college and have some trepidations and fears. So we just talked real. I shut the door and I said, "All right, fellas, it's me and you. Let's do this." So I got to hear what some real stories were that they were facing, and they called it racism. And I gently chuckled at them. I said, guys, I grew up in the 60s and the 70s, and I know what it feels like to be threatened. What you need to do is to stand strong and also realize that there's no better time to be who you are. Our world isn't open to everybody and everything, and never will it be, and never has it been. But things are definitely a lot better than they were when I was born in the 60s, and way better than the 70s. Now, again, I was a basketball player, and I tell you what, you talk about privileged individuals, athletes.
Yeah.
They get special treatment in the classroom. They get special treatment everywhere they go. And they get special treatment I went to a small college, and after a good game, I would have to struggle to walk to class because 45 people wanted to say, "Good game last night. Hello, how you doing?" And have a piece of me. And it was unbelievable. I know Division I athletes now have special housing. They have special diets. They are an investment on that university. And I tell you what, that doesn't happen to every student. So stop crying, please. Maximize who you are. Do your best. Stay humble. Say thank you. Let people know you appreciate them, and just quit your whining. Again, I'm not saying that some people don't have difficult situations, but my wife, who's different, has a different race, definitely grew up in a much tougher home, much tougher environment, and they had she had private education, but she had just a tough house to grow up in compared to me in the inner city. My mom had a wonderful home, and again, like I said, she taught me to appreciate and love who I am, and don't get caught up in comparison. Don't compare, guys. If there's anything you take from me today, comparison is a joy robber.
Love it. Spitting bars. I'm looking here. The comments are popping off. Let's see what we got here. Sean's feeling it. Respect. Let's make it happen. Sorry, I didn't realize I was commenting five minutes ago. Yeah. All right. Good stuff, guys. So we are going to wind it down here in a moment. Boone, thank you for all you're doing in the background, by the way, as well. If you got any more that you want to drop out there in the comments, guys, Boone is dropping NFTs, and we actually just pulled up to the airport. We are waiting for my brother to give us a call. My mom and my wife are sitting in the car next to us, wondering, oh, actually, they're doing their own little podcast now, too. I see I'm talking. Okay, so maybe we can keep talking a little bit longer. Yeah, in that case, one thing we always like to do, if possible, is again, continue to get to know the guests on what's your favorite type of level. So for you, we're getting right ahead of the cheese barn. So I got two questions. One, I always like to know what's your favorite ice cream, and two, what cheese are you looking forward to getting at the cheese barn today?
Okay, so my favorite ice cream is strawberry. Got pieces of strawberry in there. I am a fruit lover, more than the chocolate lover when it comes to that type of thing. So I'll even mix up the orange and the lemon and the lime sorbet and slam that down too. But I'm all about the fruit flavors. Really cool.
Where did that come from?
I have no idea. I have no stinking idea. But also, as far as my favorite cheese, well, I don't have favorite cheese per se, but what I'm looking forward to is a couple times ago, we frequent the cheese barn at least 2-3 times a year. And I got a hold of some Havarti, which is a white cheese, kind of a lighter flavored cheese. Havarti dill. And
I do remember trying that, actually.
Yeah, Havarti dill, has got dill in it. If anyone, I'm a big fan of Clausen pickles. You got to get those out of the refrigerated section in the grocery store, and Clausen pickles. So I'm a fan of the vinegar dilly kind of flavor. So Havarti dill, you don't need anything else on a burger but that cheese, man. Oh yeah, definitely looking forward.
That's
to
number
it.
one. What's the number two? Number two cheese.
Anything with like habaneros in it,
spicy,
hot pepper jack. Oh yeah, I got chest hairs, man. When I was a kid, real quick, when I was a kid, one of my mom's friends said to me, "Hey boy," I'm 6 or 7 years old, and "Hey boy," I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You want some hair in your chest?" I said, "Sure." He said, "Here, take this onion, bite it." So I remember biting raw onion and enjoying it. I don't do it now, but I remember doing it as a knucklehead kid, and yeah, I got the afro on my chest now because of that, man.
That's funny because you used to say that to us all the time growing up, and I'll never forget that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Another good one-liner is if somebody's bragging about something they've done. So, do you want a medal or a chest to pin it on?
That's right. Stay humble, guys. Keep it humble.
I was thinking about you mentioned pickles though.
Yes.
And it's okay. Our show's definitely, I'd say, PG rated, and I know you had a moment with pickle, a moment with pickle juice.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
We're not gonna do that one. Okay.
No. Pickle juice. Let's just put you like this: the pickle juice that's in that container of Clausen's, do not chug it. You'll leave a mark.
Tell us about. So we're picking up my brother Paul, as I mentioned, from the airport right now. I'm 3 years older than Paul. Lifetime together, best buds, etc. You have a brother in the same age range.
Yep.
What are some of your best memories as a kid with Uncle Alton?
Well, that pickle juice story is kind of funny, but we won't go with that one. But I remember this. Now, unfortunately, this is a big brother, little brother competition thing. So we used to play a game called Strikeout, which would simulate to probably stickball in a neighborhood, or basically we did it with wiffle ball. But you buy a rubber ball from the grocery store, the hardware across the street, and then we would have we had baseball bats because we went to the Indians games when they would have bat day and get free baseball bats.
Nice.
So
Cleveland Indians baseball team.
So I remember, I think I was 11 and he was 14, and we played Strikeout all the time, and I never beat him. But I was a pretty good baseball player. And
I'll call him on my phone. Paul, my brother's calling. Keep going with baseball, and then
I remember basically, pitching and you pitched and you batted. That's really what the game consisted of. And I remember beating my older brother, man, 2-0 in a baseball experience, and it was
hold on.
off the bomb.
So we're actually doing a podcast live right now, and you're calling into it. We're getting ready to wind it down, but Papa's talking about playing baseball game with Uncle Alton when he was little. And sorry, I missed at the end. You said you beat him?
Oh no, I beat him 2-0. He was 14, I was 11.
Got it.
And that was the highlight of my life.
Paul, it reminds me of we played wall ball growing up. You remember wall ball?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna wind this stream down. We got Mama and Nikki knocking on our door. One side we got you calling us. So real quick, do you have a message to the Shift Army? It's an NFT community of between 150 and 300, maybe even 400 now people. What when you hear that, what comes to mind for a shout out?
Well, world, just know I'm in the Canton Akron Airport. You can get picked up.
All right. Well, we'll get you on.
Yeah, thanks for the cameo.
We'll get you on stream soon. For everyone tuned in, Paul's really good friends with Chet and Keegs, who come on the show all the time. So hold on one second, Paul. Let me wind this down. Papa, I know you've given many words of wisdom. One final parting piece of advice for our listeners here today.
Again, I gave you one scripture, Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. And then I also said, comparison is a joy robber. Don't let comparison rob you. All right, guys, stay humble.
All right. Excuse me. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Shift. Boone, everyone give a huge thank you to Boone. You should know him from our communities. He's working everything behind the scenes right now so that way we can do this here today. He's going to be with us live next week at the same time, as always, on Monday, 12 to 1 Eastern. And we actually have a surprise host because next Monday is my mom and dad's anniversary. So I'm going to be hanging out with them along with Nikki. You guys know Nikki. So anyways, we got a surprise guest filling in. I'll keep teasing that one out, but Boone's going to make sure that runs smoothly as he did here today. Boone, thank you for all your work. Feel free to drop any more links in there. Anyone who won anything today, make sure you reach out to us. We get you what you won. And I'm going to pan over real quick one more time to the comments. Sean, Morton, Stone Rabbit, DKR, Burst, anyone else who's out there, thank you so much for hanging out with us here today on The Shift. Again, we'll see you next week and in the community. And as you guys know, drop that hashtag next level in your wax address in the comments. We'll see you in the next episode. Remember, that's right, Morton, you figured out the surprise host. Remember, in all you think, say, and do, take it to the next level.